Hey guys, it's Ivy. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my February wrap-up. In the month of February, I only read 5 books, which is below average for me. That's okay. I'm trying not to pressure myself too much on reading. Like, it's okay to have other things going on. I definitely want to redeem myself in the month of March and read a lot more because, like, as my Goodreads likes to remind me, I'm 5 books behind schedule, when usually I'm already like 5 books ahead of schedule. That's okay. Nonetheless, I'm going to persevere and read more. As for the 5 books I read in February, the first one being A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Briggid Kemmerer. This one is a loose retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and our main character's name is Harper, and Harper has cerebral palsy, so we do have some representation there. And she sees a girl being kidnapped on the street by a man, and she tries to save the girl, and in the midst of all that, she gets kidnapped herself, and she gets kidnapped by Gray, who takes her back to the castle to be with our so-called beast in this novel. Our beast's name is Ren, and he is the prince in this kingdom. His kingdom is dying out. His family is gone. Everybody thinks the royal family is in hiding, when in fact the beast has killed pretty much everybody he knows except for Gray. And his one shot is to get a girl to fall in love with him, and he's hoping Harper will be that girl. However, Harper has other plans in mind. She is very fierce, very strong, very witty, and I love that about her. I love that she sticks up for herself. She is just such a strong role model, and I really think this book is great for young girls and girls my age, obviously, because Harper will teach you things about yourself, that you should be brave and strong and fearless, and I just loved that about her. Honestly, Gray was my favorite character in this novel. I really liked how quiet and mysterious he was, and that you start to think maybe there's something else going on there. And yeah, he was definitely the strongest character in this novel, even though like Harper was strong, but I just wanted to know more about Gray, if you know what I'm saying. Our villain in this novel is the one who cursed Ren, and she is very cunning. She is also very disturbing, but I liked that about her. It made for an entertaining part of the story. I did, however, guess the big plot twist in this, but that didn't take away from my enjoyment whatsoever in the story. Like, I still gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and I really recommend this one, and I cannot wait to read book 2 because I just know it's going to be so fantastic, and I know we're gonna get more about a certain character, and I'm here for it. Okay, I'm so here for it. The next book I read in February, I was sent an e-arc of by Tudor, so thank you to Tudor for sending me this book to read and review. Definitely all thoughts are my own, and this one, you guys, it's very disturbing, but like in such an eye-opening way. And oh, let me just tell you the plot. So in this world, we have people who are rich and people who are poor. People who are poor accumulate debt as generations go on, and our main character has accumulated a lot of debt from his family, and his mother was also a docile, which I'm getting ready to explain what that was. But anyhow, rich people basically buy out poor people to become dociles, and with that they become debt-free. However, being a docile is very much like being a servant and a slave, and when I say that, I mean in any way possible, like sexually, mentally, physically, everything. It's terrible. So our main character's mother was a docile, and she has come back. You can choose to take the drug docile, and this will make you like not coherent to everything that's going on. Like, you'll submissively agree to everything. So our main character's mother comes back from being a docile, and the drug effects are still on her. Like, she doesn't even know who she is anymore. And so when he signs up to become a docile, he wants to refuse the drug. The person that ends up buying him is the person's family who created the drug, and so our story takes off there. and they choose each other. They go through this service where they try to find the right person for both sides. It's a mutual agreement, and then your debt is gone, but you're selling yourself, you're selling your soul, your body, your mind, everything. And this is such an eye-opener to the things that are still happening today with debt. Our two main characters' names are Elisha and Alex, and their story is very eerie. It kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time. And this book is very much so about a lot about consensual sex, drug abuse, and all of that. And this book is very rated R. I cannot stress that enough. There is male representation in this book, so that was really exciting to see, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the story. I definitely a lot of the times was just like, I felt very heavy when I was reading this book because the things that happen are really sad, and I really do recommend this book. I really do. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but just know if you're going to be reading this book, like, it's not a light fluffy read. Like, it's extremely dark, but it's such an eye-opener, and it was an eye-opening experience, and I would see myself picking more books up from this author. And I just think this book is very different from anything that's like being read right now, so I really do recommend that. But like I said, there's a lot of sexual content, language abuse, sexual abuse, drug abuse, all kinds of stuff happening in here, and just be aware of that if you're gonna read this. But I recommend that you do because it was amazing and fantastic. The next book I read in February was The June Boys by Courtney Stevens, and this book is about a group of boys that every year get stolen by the Gemini thief, and they're gone for a year and then they're returned back to their families, so nobody ever gets hurt. And we follow our main character whose cousin has been kidnapped, and she believes that she's a June boy. She believes that the Gemini thief has him. Now, where the things become different from all the other seasons is that one of the little boys that was taken, his body is found in a suitcase, and in that suitcase was the key to her father's castle, which her father's a little nutty, a little weird, and he's building a castle. Her cousin had that key, so that's how she knows that her cousin was with this boy that's found. Her father becomes a suspect in the kidnappings, and so this creates for a very dramatic storyline. I do think that the beginning of this book was very strong. I did read an e-arc of this via NetGalley, but the middle fell kind of boring for me, and I started reading it a lot bit slower actually than like my reading pace, because I wasn't invested in it as much. I did give this book 3 out of 5 stars because I found the castle part intriguing, and I kept trying to like figure out who was the Gemini thief. So I'm looking at my review of this, and I guess I initially gave it 3.75 out of 5 stars, but looking back, I think it's actually just like a flat 3, because I enjoyed my time reading this, but I wasn't blown away. So there's that. This book is full of mystery, family drama. It's very dark, but I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I read it. And it was, in theory, it sounded really cool, but reading it, I think I could have there were things that, like, there were 2 different timelines where Thea's telling her story and then her cousin's telling his story in like letters, and there were things that didn't make sense until the very end. So I don't know, I'm not making sense, whatever. I give this book 3 out of 5 stars. Next up, I finished my reread of Heir by Sarah J. Maas, and I loved this as much as I did the first time reading it, if not even more. I love this series, you guys. This series is like, it just fills my heart with so much love, joy, and happiness. And yes, so 5 out of 5 stars. Loved it. The final book that I read in the month of February was The Other People by C.J. Tudor, and this is a mystery thriller novel. This is by the author of The Chalk Man, which I loved that book. So entertaining. This one is about a man named Gabe, and he's driving, and in the car in front of him he sees his daughter, and he calls and he finds out his daughter and his wife was murdered, and he's like, no, I just saw my daughter, she was being kidnapped. And this is like where our story starts. So he is still on the hunt for his daughter. He knows that little girl was not his, but he does believe that his wife was murdered. And there's other plot points of this book about a girl named Katie who always sees him searching for his daughter. And then there's another plot point, or point of view, I mean, of a lady named Fran who has a little girl, and they are on the run from the other people, and the other people are like the big mysterious thing of this book. Reading his other novel, I thought this one would be a lot more gruesome and scary and disturbing and disgusting, but it wasn't. So for that, I did only give it 3 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy my time reading this. I love how C.J. Tudor's writing style is. I love that he does short chapters. I love that he keeps you on the edge of your seat. He always ends his chapters at great ending points and then goes to the next point of view, so it keeps you wanting to read. I just felt like a little bit the middle dragged on, and the plot twists weren't really that shocking to me, so that's for the 3-star rating. But I did really enjoy this book, and I can't wait to see what else C.J. Tudor will release in the future. Alright guys, you can let me know in the comments down below what books you guys read in the month of February, as I would love to hear about it. As always, you can find me on other social medias linked down below, and if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and may the force be with you. Bye!